An aerial view of Niger Delta of Nigeria shows a unique structure of human settlements, mainly accessible by streams of salt and brackish water. The vegetation, a unique blend of mangrove and rainforest. In this mangrove forest also lies land areas that have attracted migrants whose daily needs have been met by the abundance of nature. What you see today as Nimbe Kingdom in Nigeria's Niger Delta is one of such earliest settlements by migrant fishermen and farmers also. For such migrants, natural wells provided the only source of drinking water and consequently aided the establishment of such settlements, primarily for economic activities. From these settlements, kingdoms have emerged, and Nimbe is one of them.
You know, Nimbe is just one out of a number of kingdoms on the eastern Niger Delta. That's the area where the Ijaw communities developed these monarchical institutions. The others being coming from the Nimbe end, Labare, Ebani, the Okrika, and then of course out of the Boni, Opobo. Those are the classical kingdoms of the Niger Delta.
A brief history of Nimbe, an area of over 5 miles radius around the metropolis. Nimbe is dotted with sites that traditions of evidence of ancient settlement.
Nimbe Kingdom stretches over 5 miles radius around the metropolis, dotted with sites that bear traditions and evidences of human settlements such as Oboloma, Olodiama, and Oyoma. Oral traditions state that each of these communities were ruled by priest-kings known as Bere. External aggression on Oyoma combined with internal conflicts between Oboloma and Olodiama caused the dispersal of the triumvirate settlement. Fragments from the dispersal came together as a united kingdom under the metropolis close to Oboloma.
A Nimbe man is somebody who comes from that place called Nimbe. That, I call it a clan. Never mind today, it seems as if the Nimbe man is the man from that very island where we perform this thing of Bolomabri. And everybody who speaks the Nimbe language is a Nimbe man. That means if you think of a Nimbe man, you have places that places that are known familiarly. Nimbe itself, Opunembe, which is Bolomabri and Separo, Asambri, Okboma, Odiema, Tumobras, and such other smaller places around.
This is the new settlement called Nimbe, once a city-state, but the institutions of monarchy, leadership, and general traditions have remained unbroken to this day. The new city-state, Nimbe, took the name of the grandson of Kala Ekule, the founder king, whose name is fondly preserved in a drum praise poem. This small brave city-state has come a long way. In spite of new political administrations that have engulfed the erstwhile city-states of the Niger Delta, Nimbe has continued to preserve and protect the institutions that have made her a unique kingdom. One of such institutions is the monarchy. The monarchy is the apex tool of Nimbe's traditional administration, held in trust for the people by individuals of proven character and integrity, known and addressed as Amainabo, meaning the owner of the land. Served in a drum praise poem.
This Mingi is not just a Mingi of Ogbara, it's the Mingi of the Nembe Kingdom.
The Amainabo is the chief custodian of the traditions and culture of the people. He governs the land with the council of chiefs and deputy chiefs. The events in this documentary were the activities that marked the coronation of King Dr. Edmund Maduabebe Dakaru CON as Mingi the 12th, Amainabo of Nimbe. The Mingi as apex title for the Amainabo of Nimbe has a history behind it. Two dynasties have existed in the United Kingdom of Nimbe. The first dynasty covers the period from Kalaikule to the period of Pereso and his sons Obia and Baso. The second period started about 1700 when the sons of Obia and Baso, namely Ogbodo and Mingi, had a dispute over the throne. Ogbodo gave up and moved across the creek to Basambri, where he began a new dynasty and settlement, leaving his cousin Mingi in control of the central polity, being Obolomabri and other communities, marking the beginning of the Mingi dynasty. Mingi the First, founder of the ruling dynasty, is also referred to as Mingi the Great. Ikata Mingi II introduced the war canoe with cannon lashed to its bow and stern. Boro Mingi III, there appears not to be any record of his reign in regular oral traditions. Kulok Mingi IV lived to a great old age. He formerly opened the Brass River Estuary to European traders for the construction of trading facilities. The visitors named him King 4-Day, apparently for his faithful observance of the local 4-day week. King Boy Amai Mingi V, the son of King 4-Day Kulok, he took over from his aging father the effective running of public affairs in 1830 in the presence of Niger explorers Richard and John Lander. Kiai Mingi VI, son of Ambule, became king after two other candidates died in the course of the selection process. Josiah Constantine Okia, Mingi VII. He invited Bishop Ajayi Crowther, who was then in the process of setting up a mission at Boni, to do the same in Nimbe. Nimbe is thus the headquarters of the Anglican Communion in Bayelsa State and the site of the Cathedral Church of St. Luke. Two of the king's sons became pastors. One became king later, and the other, Reverend Daniel Ogiriki Okia, took the gospel through many places in Bayelsa and River States. Frederick William Koko began as a Christian but renounced it when the Royal Niger Company, the source of Christianity in the Niger Delta, began to enforce a damaging trade monopoly against the Nimbe people from its depots at Akassa and Asaba. He eventually fought the Akassa War of 1895 against the British, the first successful hot war for resource control in the Niger Delta. Anthony Ofiafate Okia, Mingi IX, son of King Josiah Constantine Okia, was priest of the Niger Delta Pastorate Church and the first king of the Niger Delta crowned as a Christian ruler. Francis Osamade Joseph Alagwa Mingi X was a very well-loved monarch. A devout Roman Catholic, he invited the church to open the Nimbe Grammar School in 1956 the first post-primary educational institution in the Nimbe district. Ambrose Ezeolisa Alagwa, CON Mingi the 11th, son of Mingi the 10th, was the first indigenous chief judge of Rivers State. He worked hard to keep the peace among his people. Edmond Madwabebe Dakoru, PhD, FIC, CON Mingi the 12th, comes to the throne with great promise and great expectations. He has the direct legacy of the Okia House and lineage group as a backdrop, as well as his own personal academic and practical achievements on the national and international stage. Weeks before the coronation ceremony, two highly significant events took place in Nimbe. The first is the public presentation of the king to the people of Nimbe by the Nimbe Chiefs Council. In this ceremony, the king's head is knocked in full view of the people. This act implies that the king's head had become sacred. Henceforth, no man's hand should ever touch his head, which also remains permanently covered. The second significant event is the official recognition by the political authority. The monarchy of Nimbe is a first-class tool recognized by the government of Bayelsa State. The king must first receive a certificate of recognition and membership of Bayelsa State Council of Traditional Rulers and the staff of office from the governor of the state.
The staff of office as Mingi declared for Lagos.
These ceremonies all take place at a historical site in Nimbe known as Opupoloteri, a small piece of sacred land where it is believed that spirits of ancestors and past kings of Nimbe reside. Mausoleums of past kings of Nimbe can be found around this location. This official town square, Opupoloteri, is the location of Sotugu, the place of creation, marked by a live tree, Iginiga. It is at the foot of this tree that libations to Amatemeso, the community creator spirit, are poured. Activities marking the coronation of King Dr. Edmond Madwabebe Dakoru Mingi XII, Tamanabo of Nimbe, were quite loaded and exciting. First, the coronation program was committed to God in an interdenominational night vigil in which various ministers of the gospel preached and prayed for the kingdom.
The first person I'm going to call on stage is nobody other than Pastor Justice Ado.
The greatness of any group of people is tied to the leader. Implies that even our great servants that want to be enthroned on the throne, for God to grant him what it takes to be a leader. I discovered that one man can change a nation, one man can change a people, one man can lead a people to greatness, one man can cause a catastrophe of a people also.
A wrestling tournament, being a traditional sport, could not have been left out. The exciting tournament was between Hippo and Upper groups. The war canoe display is usually a spectacular reminder of the ancient times when wars were fought on water by coastal dwellers. Ofrima, the shark masquerade, is commonly played by coastal dwellers in Niger Delta. The sheer beauty of this spectacular aquatic artistic piece of entertainment can be seen from the large theatre of participants involved. The crowd of spectators, the other little fishes that dance around the shark, the Priangala masquerade, which adds to the suspense by performing on a long fragile pole with a crossbar. And the fishermen who attempt to catch the shark. Oh no, they missed the fish, but they catch the intruders.
Finally, they catch the sharkfish. The game is over, and everyone goes home happy.
One of the key historic events in the coronation program was a book launch. The book, which captures the history of Nimbe, was authored by a renowned African clergy of Nimbe origin, Reverend Daniel Ogiriki Okia, a man who is celebrated for his singular effort in translating the English Bible, hymns and several Christian liturgies into Nimbe language.
We must make greater efforts at documenting contemporary history, such as the current coronation of His Royal Majesty King Dr. Edmund Madrawabebe Nakuru Mingi 12, a man of Nimbe. 4. Finally, we historians must not retreat from our responsibility to advance the frontiers of knowledge in our own interpretation of Nimbe and Niger Delta history, from the additional data that should result from the further research we recommend. We thank you all for coming to learn about this great son of Nimbe, the biographies of great men teach us how to make our own little life sublime. Thanks for your attention.
The foundation will give assistance to the Reverend D.O. Okia Memorial Church in Agua and the Reverend D.O. Okia College of Theology and Management Sciences in Meya, Bayelsa State. The foundation will equally support the Reverend D.O. Okia annual anniversary celebrations and the Cathedral Church of St. Luke's, where Reverend D.O. Okia played an important role in its development. We intend to organize annual lecture series named after him and to be given by eminent personalities. We are going to be involved in other worldwide ventures Reverend Daniel Ogrigi Okia championed the translation into Nembe language, the Holy Scriptures, the hymn book, Sankis, Book of Common Prayers, among others. By his dogged determination and tireless effort, Nembe became the fourth language in Nigeria and the seventh in the whole of Africa to have a complete Bible translation.
The witches and the others, the unclean belly ones, and then the righteous who are the clean belly ones. But again, some notes will assist the reader. Now, the author uses the word juju and even jujuism in this book. I can well understand this usage of these words as an ordained priest of the Anglican Communion. It is important for us to state, however, that our peoples in the pre-Christian days did not see themselves as serving juju as opposed to what came to be known as the Christian God, whom I serve. They did not see their juju, their gods as juju. Their priest was not a juju priest. He was the priest of the gods of the land. I am, by the grace of God, a child of his, and I am proud to declare it. I'm also, however, a historian and teacher. Reverend Daniel Okia, like converts of early Christianity, writes as the missionaries of his day wrote, today we cannot afford to write like that because we have a clear understanding that our people, before the coming of Christianity, believed that they were serving gods whom they thought were sufficient for them. As I said at the beginning of this, the book we are gathered to launch is a great work. Not because it's faultless, no book ever is faultless, but because it's a great resource book. Historians of Namibia and Niger Delta must welcome the publication of this book, because henceforth it's available to us and to all who are interested in the history of the Niger Delta. We can always go in there and see what the author has preserved for humankind. The man was so committed to his people that he has preserved for us in this book information which would otherwise have been lost to all of us.
For my own personal idea, I learned how to read and write in Nembe language. Because I read the Bible in Nembe language, I sing hymns in Nembe languages.
The king is the apex traditional authority of the kingdom. He is the custodian of the tradition and culture of Nimbi people. He performs this function in collaboration with the Council of Chiefs, made up of head chiefs of kingship houses and deputy chiefs who head component houses. Vacant stools are filled by men of proven integrity, but not before they have been chalked by the Mingi at Opupolotiri. The chiefs are presented with bells for each kingship house. The bell is meant to announce the presence of the chief at public places. These particular new bells have been provided by the new king, Dr. Edmund Maduabebe Dakuru. The chiefs take oath of office and are subsequently chalked by the Mingi by the smearing of a powdery substance on their foreheads.
Papa.
I know you, I am at you, so you, and never by going like never back. And I'm young blood to go me, Chief Cookie. May non blood like a person.
A canoe regatta usually precedes the coronation of the king. A colorful regatta, a major aquatic sport of the Ijaw people of Niger Delta, was mounted for the king to inspect.
Everything that was needed to be done traditionally was done exactly as it was meant to be done. But you know, with changing times, these are modern times. For example, many things that were done just as practices were documented. It's because of the documentation that you might have got some things that look as if they're anything new. What has always been done just documented properly because of the changing times to make sure. And it's better for posterity so that there's nobody who comes to give any oral history to change anything. Everything was done. It has always been done. And in fact, there was no real controversy.
Let's go. Move there.
The coronation ceremony of King Dr. Edmund Maduagbewe Dakuru took place at the new King Koko Square, which was first used for the funeral of Justice Ambrose Ezeolisa Alagwa, Mengi the 11th. Weeks before the coronation ceremony, two highly significant events took place in Nimbe. And now, the main event, the coronation of King Dr. Edmund Maduagbewe Dakuru as Mengi the 12th, Amanabo of Nimbe.
we all rise, please? Mingi is here. Rise up for the Mingi, please.
Lord, we are here for a purpose. And you make us responsible for what we are here for. You have appointed your servant as the man go up in the kingdom. Whoever you appoint, you always equip. And so we pray for your Holy Spirit to be endowed on him. Make him responsible. Make him discipline himself for your service. And crown him at the last for your glory. Through Christ our Lord.
Your Majesty, I send you hearty congratulations on your family. He said he has no doubt that you are going to perform the obligation of your people. He has graciously appointed you as the king of this country. He has asked me to give you his instructions and to assure you that he will
When they see you, they are like, please come here again.
the guys of Agua.
Hold on, I don't take my seat.
All cameramen step back. We have the honorable members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, led by our very assembly member, paying their respects to the Mingi.
Okay, they are not sitting.
Honorable members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly,
Where is the deputy? Deputy Speaker.
led by Honorable Jonathan Abuebita, paying their respects.
entourage coming to pay respects to His Highness, His Majesty. With her, she has his children, wives, and friends, and well-wishers, and son-in-law, an entire family. They are saying, Your Majesty, we love you. Your Majesty, we wish you well. Your Majesty, we are one of you. And Your Majesty,
and may God bless him. Amen.
clear the arena. Amen. Clear the arena. Clear the arena, please. Good afternoon, sir. Midwest and Bengal states, paying his respects.
I'd like to recognize Thank you very much. And now, the Idema Council of Chiefs, led by the Zionist Justus Ekwelepo. You are here. The Idema Council of Chiefs.
Let
His generosity to those who seek his help is unsurpassed in Nimbe today. As if to cap all this, King Daukoru's unwavering faith in God has given Bayelsa State a son of Nimbe as governor to tread in the footsteps of King Alfred Yetespe. My king, His Majesty is a recipient of the national honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger CON. As a result of his meritorious services to the nation, as well as being a justice of the peace. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire people of Nimbe, I present to you as being given 12th, amenable a man who has distinguished himself in the service of his country and community. A man who has earned high international acclaim by dint of hard work and glorious academic excellence. A man who has made men great, and a man who has become not only a role model, but an outstanding impact on his people positively. May his reign bring blessings to the entire people of Nimbe May His reign bring equal opportunities to all the people of Nimbi and the Niger Delta in general. May His reign usher in prosperity, equity and justice, peace and progress. Long live the King! Long live the people of Nimbi! Long live Bayelsa State! Long live our great country, Nigeria! Thank you all and God bless you.
No resisting, no resisting.
Here is understanding. Here is abundant life. Those who accept it have life. May the teachings of this great book be your guide in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Hey, please, cameraman. Can you give us time? We'll give you time to snap. Yeah, but no.
With thy free and priestly spirit, the spirit of wisdom and government, the spirit of counsel and spirit of strength, the spirit of knowledge and true godliness, and fill him, O Lord, with the spirit of thy holy fear, now and forever, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Be thy anointed with holy oil as kings, priests and prophets were anointed, and as Solomon was anointed king by Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet, so be thou anointed, blessed and consecrated king over the people, whom the Lord God had given thee to rule and govern. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Stand firm, hold fast from henceforth the seat and state of royal and the love of God and the spirit of the Holy Spirit now and forever. Praise the
outside the circle, Bayelsa volunteers. I don't want anyone within the circle. Come forward and do the presentation now.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State and his entire cabinet is on their way to pay homage to the King. He's here to pay homage, and he's here with his dear wife, Her Excellency Mrs. Alain Silva, accompanied by members of the State Executive Council. Ladies and gentlemen, is here to pay homage to His Imperial Majesty King Dr. Edmund Bakoko. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State, Chief Philipri Silva, and his dear wife, Her Excellency Ms. Alain Silva, pay the King. I'd like to recognize on the entourage of His Excellency, the Honorable Commissioner of Finance, who is the son of the soil, the Grand Boni Council of Chiefs, they are here. The Grand Boni Council of Chiefs. Grand Boni Council of Chiefs. Chief Reginald Atipat is leading the team, the delegation from Boni, the Council of Chiefs. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have before His Imperial Majesty the Corona Council of Chiefs here to pay homage, to pay solidarity, felicitation to the new king. And now the Relay Council of Chiefs. Progress is also here to felicitate with His Imperial Majesty, King Dr. Edmund Bakoko.
and white who have found their way here. This has been a particularly difficult day. We thought we chose well to pick the middle of the dry season. But man proposes, God disposes. Nevertheless, we have a full house. It is not numbers alone that matter, but also quality. And we have had the assurance of the high esteem in which our friends from far and wide told us. We will not fail them. We never will fail them. We stand ready to help them. We stand ready to be part of their own aspirations as they have shown that they are part of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much and pledge you that in the nearest possible future, I will undertake a tour indeed to give my personal gratitude, to show my personal gratitude to all those who have found time to be with us here. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live the peoples of the Niger Delta. Long live Bayelsa State. Long live the ancient kingdom of Nigeria. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Chairman and members of the Nembe Chiefs Council, on behalf of the entire Nembe community, express a deep appreciation to all those who, in spite of their pressing engagements, found time to grace this unique occasion. Most historic and make it a huge success. Words of mouth would not convey our deep appreciation to you. We especially thank the Vice President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, who meant to personally attend this occasion but has been debarred by weather and other unavoidable circumstances. We thank these representatives. We thank the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State who came with his whole executive. May the Almighty God grant you with wisdom to co-pilot the affairs of this great entity called Nigeria. We are equally grateful to the state government, Chief Timothy Silva, for all the support which has made this coronation a great success. You have once again demonstrated to the rest of the country the administrative acumen in you. We pray that the Almighty God bestow on you Solomon's wisdom as you set the base for the formal development of the neglected Bayelsa State. Finally, we thank all senators, honorable members of National Assembly, state houses of assembly, traditional rulers, the business community, captains of the oil industry, members of the armed forces and others who are not mentioned here, but have played great roles towards the success of this occasion. May the Almighty God grant you journeying blessings as you return to your various destinations. God bless. Amen.
Of Nembe has as a mission to bring the Nembe community together. Unfortunately, today, the Amayaba of Assembly himself is of that focus. He should see himself as God. God in the sense that he is the Amayaba of the Nembe community. He should be the oldest man, see himself as the oldest man, as the wisest man, as the protector of everybody, and therefore should treat everybody equally. Both
I would say it's like a light in the tunnel. You know, a period where you had rulership, you know, that is coming in with some dynamism to change things around. You know, if you look at his person, the king, the present king, his person, he's of the international standard if you look at him, you know, from what he has attained so far in life. You know, so we, personally, I feel the significance, it's about turning things around for Nimbe as far as the king is concerned.
My name is Edna Jaja. My mom is from this area, and I came to Grace Education as per student. I'm a student of UST, and my student president asked everybody to be here, so I happen to be here for the first time to Grace Education. They should improve on the educational system. We have great talents here, but only we don't have backup to back them up. Otherwise, we have great talents in this land.
It is good, and this is something I've not experienced in my life. This is something that my parents were telling me about. I thank God for this thing, that I'm seeing this kind of coronation, and everything is going smoothly, fine. So I thank God for that.
Today is a new chapter in the history of the Nimbe Kingdom. Peace will reign with all our neighbors, our friends, and the whole of Nigeria.
Nimbe surely has a great future. The chiefs, elders, and the people believe so. The Mingi too cannot say anything less.
I feel very happy, but at the same time, I don't stop at the happiness. The happiness is momentary. I'm fully aware of the responsibility that goes with this. It's not an end. It's a means. It's a call to higher service. Yes, fulfillment is based on hope. If you have no hope, you are a dead person. A community without hope is a dead community. To that end, the hopes are justified. We have to hope if we have to keep trying. I will give the issue of development my top priority. The results are not always commensurate with effort, but I can guarantee unstinted effort. Guarantee full unstinted effort. Nigerian politics is very complex. Along the way, we are going to need allies, other communities in similar situation. So if we have the right kind of networks with fellow communities, with the highest levels of government, I believe we will achieve something. So I'm hopeful. So what should we do?
Natural wells provided the only source of drinking water and consequently aided the establishment of such settlements, primarily for economic activities. From these settlements, kingdoms have emerged, and Nembe is one of them.
You know, Nembe is just one out of a number of kingdoms on the